When it comes to ARK, underwater bases are perfect for a tribe looking to hide, so we proudly present top 3 6-man underwater caves with full base designs on ARK. This video is sponsored by Azura. Azura is a 25x server with 2-man tribes. Azura has 7 maps and they rotate monthly. Azura has insta-tame, fast breeding rates, custom supply drops, and more. Azura has an in-game shop but does not allow any pay to win. Azura offers new player protection, turret filler, and a ton of other great plugins. The servers wipe this Friday. Hope to see you there. And coming at number 3, this can be found at 16.3 latitude and 73.8 longitude on Crystal Isles. And then here it is on the map. Now this cave slash rat hole is pretty much the only good cave on this map, in my opinion at least, as it's got a pretty good size to it. It's pretty kind of like middle-ish of the map, I would say, even though the whole outside is all water, so there's not much on the inside, but it's very close to a lot of like main like resources and stuff. But it's more of a rat hole. It's a pretty big size when you come inside. You have a lot of room for a ton of stuff to fit in here. You have a few issues with the mesh area on the ground, like you can't build there for some reason, I don't know why. But if you're using vacuum compartments, it's not going to be a big issue anyways. But here is what the spot looks like. Let's get on to the build. So here is what the build looks like. We decided to kind of keep everything on the interior side of this to make sure that there's nothing poking out, to basically show people, hey, there's a base here. So as you can see, there's a lot of turrets that are just kind of sitting there in the front, just to kind of keep players out. Now, that's really not going to keep somebody from raiding and getting into the front, so if you want to add more stuff on the front, it's really up to you. Now, in the front, we have a nice little turret wall, and by little I mean pretty good sized turret wall. It meets the 100 turret limit perfectly, and then inside here, you are able to go through the wall, and then there's the main base up there. Now, it doesn't look the best, but you're also building underwater, so you have to know that, but it is very compact. It has pretty much everything that you would need for a 6-man tribe looking to maybe build this as a backup base or just a tiny little base just to kind of live in for underwater to stay super hidden. There's a tech teleporter, a transmitter, incubators, a upstairs room, a bottom room with 2 replicators, a full crafting station, cooker, a grill, and then up here you have an entire vault room and also a bunch of indie forges. So you have plenty of room for really everything that you're going to need, while it's still being a pretty compact base. Now, you're going to have issues with stuff clipping through, so if you're fine with that, then it'll be pretty much a pretty easy build for you. And then up top, we have the replicator right there. Coming at number 2, this can be found at 89.9 latitude and 36.0 longitude on the island. And then here it is on the map, but this is known as the Pearl Cave. The island has about 4 different types of Pearl Caves on here, and this is the biggest one. Now, there are some issues with this Pearl Cave, as being the entrance is pretty big. So if you're fine with a kind of bigger entrance, as you can see it has 2 little areas, and it is a bit of an awkward entrance, I'll say that. Now, most items can fit through, but stuff like things like a Tuso really can't fit in here, which is pretty nice. But other than that, coming inside, there is a ton of room to build. One slight issue, it's not that flat, so you're going to have to figure out how to build with the terrain. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. However, what we did is we just kind of used some foundations and just pillars to kind of just build 2 separate layers in a way. But anyways, let's get on to the full base design. Now here is the full base design. We decided to do a kind of 2 turret wall layout with a ton of bear traps in front. This first little tiny turret wall is mainly here to defend the main turret wall, so it has a few turrets on it and it's a bunch of double door frames. Then here is the main wall, expanding across the entire area of the cave, and it's pushed back super far to make sure that nobody can basically just run up on this wall. Now up top you have a little sniper lookout for anybody that's looking to just kind of sit up there and just snipe some people who are trying to raid you. Then on the inside we have this nice little walkway to go all the way into here, which leads up to the kind of second layer of the base. Now up here This is just where everything is, and then down below, you can either use it as a nice little area to store dinos, or really anything, it's up to you. But we're only going to be building really on the second layer. So you have tons of vaults, a massive crafting station, with literally everything that you could need, 2 replicators, a ton of daddy storages, some cryo refrigerators, some beds right there, and then a mannequin set for up to 6 players right there, and you can add more if you need to. Then you have a tech teleporter. Over here you have your main hatching area, so you have your incubators, your feeding troughs, refrigerators, really everything. And then up top you have a force field with your tech generator, and you can put anything else in there that you would like. Coming at number 1, this can be found at 44.3 latitude and 69.0 longitude on Genesis Part 2. And then here it is on the map. Now this can be found in the underwater area, so if you are looking for the underwater area on Genesis, go to the far left one by a waterfall, and that will lead you straight directly down to this one. Now this port is actually one of my favorite spots on this map, as it's more of a man-made spot, and I really enjoy these man-made spots that you can kind of live in versus naturally made ones, if that makes sense. But this one has a ton of room. The big downside is that you have 2 big entrances, so it's going to be a little tricky to build, but let me show you how to build it. So here's how you build it. On the outside, we put these little vacuum compartments here that can easily hold about 8 turrets, and you can put a lot more on them if you really want to. Now coming up in here, we put some hatch frames over the entrance just to kind of make sure that you can't kind of just jump into this, if that makes sense. Now we were unable to put hatch frames in the middle, sadly, which did suck, but we put some bear traps. And there is a double door thing there, so if a dino does decide to just jump up in here, they can't get anywhere and they're going to get killed instantly from this turret wall. We have a lot of vaults on the side, and there are a few that I put there to, just to make it kind of look better, so they are meshed a little bit, but I would recommend doing at least 2 layers there. And then up here is your main entrance. You're going to need to use your tech suit to get up and down, or you can just use your teleporter that's in the base to get inside and out. But anyways, coming in here, as you can see, we have a ton of new stuff. So over here, let's start with this. This is a kind of semi-crafting station. It's mainly put there for just replicators and fabricators, and then you have a lot of daddy storages there and a ton of vaults. Over here we have 2 indie grinders and then 2 feeding troughs and a ton of egg incubators. This entire back area is really what you're going to be using for hatching and storing your dinos, and there's a lot more room here than it actually looks. Now coming over here, we're going to look into the middle. In the middle, we have a ton of chem benches. You got some smithies, your cookers, your grills, your preserving bins, refrigerators, really everything. And now here is a new thing that I'm trying, which is a nice little storage area. This is a 2-layered vault area and a ton of daddy storages and a lot of cryo refrigerators. And then there's a transmitter in the middle. Now behind this over here, there's actually a nice little hidden room. Back here is where your tech generator is going to be, and a nice little logout area for any other players if you are bigger than a 6-man tribe. Now coming back through here, as you notice, this side is blocked off and the other one is not. That's because this is a personal room area. Now you have plenty of room to upgrade this into making it for a 12-man or really anything. You just gotta build more layers going up. Now this is built for a 6-man, so I only put 6 personal rooms in here and then put some personal vaults alongside. Now coming over here, we have a tech teleporter in the corner. There was really nowhere else to put this thing in there, and it looked good over in the corner. Now if you go through this wall, this one does not have an entrance on purpose because you only want one to have an entrance, but it is the exact same layout as that. But anyways, that's it for this video. We hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new, and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to go check out Azura servers. Thanks for watching.
No, I'm not giving in.